That's why she gets the big bucks. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We're very excited to have these three wonderful authors with us. I've already done the intro. This is the second time, so I'm just going to introduce each of the authors with a short bio. So, Steven Rowley is a New York Times bestselling author of Lily and the Octopus, which actually the gloss read many, many moons ago. A
Mhm.
Washington Post notable book of 2016, the editor named by NPR as one of the best books of 2019, The Guncle, a Goodreads Choice Award finalist for 2021, Novel of the Year and winner of the Thurber Prize for American Humor, and The Celebrants, a Today Show read with Jenna book club pick, and the instant USA Today bestseller, The Guncle Abroad, and the novella, which we'll be discussing today, The Dogs of Venice. His fiction has been published in 20 languages. He's originally from Portland, Maine, but he currently resides in Palm Springs with his husband, the writer Byron Lane, and his two rescue dogs. So welcome, Stephen.
Thank you.
And our next, Farah Heron, is from Toronto, which is actually where I am from, even though I'm not there currently, as you can tell by the light. Farah Heron is a critically acclaimed romance author for adults and teens. Her books have been praised by CBC Books, US Today, Entertainment Weekly, and NPR. She writes contemporary romance and romantic comedies full of huge South Asian families, delectable food, and most importantly, brown people falling stupidly in love. Her adult books, including Accidentally Engaged and Just Playing House, and her young adult books include Tahira in Bloom and Remember Me Tomorrow. Farah was recently the writer in residence at the Toronto Public Library, and she lives in Toronto with her family. And today we'll be discussing her holiday book, A Little Holiday Fling, which actually just came out. Welcome, Farah. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I'm excited to talk about my book.
Awesome. And our last but not least, Marissa Stapley, or this actually book is written under the name Julie McKay. Julie McKay is the romantic writing pen name of New York Times bestselling author Marissa Stapley, whose novel Lucky was a Wreath's book club pick and is currently being adapted as a series for Apple TV, which is very exciting. Is that current, Marissa, or is that already done?
It's wrapped. It's coming out. I can't say like
Oh,
next year. I'm like sworn to secrecy, but
no
it's all
problem.
very exciting. Yes.
Okay, so we can
Mhm.
look for that
Yeah.
soon in
Mhm.
2026. She
Mhm.
divides her time between Toronto and Ontario cottage country, where she finds endless inspiration in lake views, fall leaves, and local lore. So, welcome so much, all three of you.
Thank you so much.
And I'm going
So
to
fun.
just pin all of these um, so that we're taping the right people here. Here we go. All right.
Aaron, where are you with all that light?
I know, right? I live in Bali right now, Stephen,
Ah,
Oh my goodness.
as you do.
Yeah, we
can
wish.
I be a gloss writer in residence
Yeah.
and come
I
to
know, right?
Bali?
I, my house is just like in my little cabana over there.
Oh wow, what a change from Toronto.
Yeah, very, very different. This is our second year here, and we'll go home at the end of June, actually. So, but the time is good because it's 9:05 a.m. So even if I was feeling well, then we'd be great. Um, all right. So I did actually want to take a moment before we talk about anything, and I just wanted to acknowledge the loss of best-selling author Sophie Kinsella. Her
Mhm.
actual name was Madeline Wickham, and she died today after a lengthy battle with cancer, which she actually wrote about in her novella titled "What Does It Feel Like?" I loved the Shopaholic series, and that really saw me through a poignant time in my life as a young woman living in London. So I was really tremendously sad to read about that, and I'm sure you all were as a contemporary of yours.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So all the questions here. So the first question, and I'd love for Farah to answer this. Holiday stories often blend nostalgia, tension, family dynamics, and a little magic. What about the holiday season draws you in creatively, and what makes it such a rich backdrop for fiction?
That's an interesting one because this is my first holiday book. So I didn't know it was going to be easy to write until I wrote it, and I didn't know if the book would work until I sat down to write it. But I kind of always wanted to write a holiday book. I used to work in the retail world, and holidays as a retail employee is a whole other thing. So I was always so surrounded by it. I always kind of like at the back of my head, I'm like, one day I'm going to write a Christmas book. Um, the best thing about writing a Christmas book, especially this one, it's set in Toronto, and I threw every favorite Christmas in Toronto thing in there. So there was a ton of nostalgia while I was writing it. All of the amazing things, skating in Nathan Phillips Square, the gigantic tree at the Toronto Eaton Center, um, the distiller, most of it set in the distillery district. So it was really, really neat to be able to write about all my favorite places. But at the same time, I mean, that's just the backdrop, that's just the background. It was amazing for me to be able to write a story about families coming together. Families can be kind of chaotic, and the dysfunction in families really comes out in the holiday. So there's two families. My heroine's family is more dysfunctional. Her mother passed away several years ago, and she's still grieving. And then the hero's family is chaotic and super supportive, but everybody's doing their own thing and getting in each other's faces all the time and meddling. So quite different family styles. And I really enjoyed having the juxtaposition between the supportive family and the not so supportive family and how that feels during the holidays.
Marissa, same question for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because as Farah said, you never know until you dive into something, how it's going to go. And every one of my holiday romances have been different in their challenges, but I every this time of year and in Toronto, by the way, we're kind of having most of the days are like beautiful, snowy Christmas in the city, except then today it started raining, which was upsetting because we had all this beautiful snow, but I am feeling that magical feeling and I've started my holiday movie watching with my daughter early and I'm reminded of why I love to write these. I actually, by the way, can I get a little refresher because the question was like 5 minutes ago? So like what just so that I hit the right point.
Holiday
Yeah.
stories often blend nostalgia, tension, family dynamics, and a little magic. What about the holiday season draws you in creatively, and what makes it such a rich backdrop for fiction?
Right. Okay. I wanted to make sure I wasn't going on some random tangent. So ultimately, because sometimes you've done something like this is my, oh gosh, I've lost count, like fourth holiday romance, I think. Because I've no, fifth, because I've co-authored three and done two on my own. So you sometimes start to lose sight of why you're doing something. And I absolutely love the magic of Christmas. Like I am hook, line, and sinker on give me your wildest premise. Like take me to a snowy town and, give me a little bit of far-fetched magic. And it doesn't make any sense at any other point in the year because I'll be like, well, this is, the the stakes are very unclear and this is very unrealistic. But with a holiday movie, I'm just like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like I'm just so in and the family drama and the little bit of magic and the fact that you can just trot all of these things out whenever you want and all of a sudden a long lost, boyfriend can come in or a relative and then there's like Santa magic and I just love having all that in your bag of tricks and at your disposal as an author. It makes me so happy as a writer and I love writing, but I can't say that I'm always happy when I
Fury.
sit down. Well, am I freezing?
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I have to say I'm a sucker for a holiday romance myself, and I love that I get to create them.
And just for those here listening that don't understand why you write under a pseudonym, can you explain that?
Yeah, I mean, there's some boring legal stuff that I won't get into, but I mean, when you sit down and you pick up a Danielle Steele or a Farah Heron or a Stephen Rowley, you're expecting a certain something. And my Marissa Stapley novels are different. Things happen that are sometimes a lot darker than we would want at the holiday season. So I wanted to use a pseudonym so you could know that you're picking up Julia McKay and you're getting a holiday set romance novel and just pure delight and happiness at the end. So that's what Julia McKay means to me.
Thank you, Marissa. Stephen, would you like me to repeat the question?
No, I'm good at this point, I think. But like
Okay.
Farah, I'm in the same boat where this is really my first holiday story. And I'm leaning a little bit more into the loneliness of the holidays and some of the sadness that can come. If you're alone at Christmas, I think it feels extra lonely than, there's a heightened loneliness than there might be at other points in the year. And for those who are in the Glossbook Club that read Lily and the Octopus, I want to just start by saying, Nothing bad happens to the dog. Okay. I'm not going to go
The
there
amount of flack I
again.
took for that.
Yeah. So that's the only spoiler I feel that people want to know. Does anything bad happen to the dogs? Yeah, there's a whole site, Rachel, saying, does the dog die?
Does the
Nothing.
dog die?
And sadly, in this one, happily in this one, nothing bad happens to the dog.
Sorry.
But that doesn't mean that bad things don't happen to people. And this is a story about Paul, who is 3 weeks before he's about to take a romantic vacation to Venice with his husband. He gets dumped and has to reconcile with the end of his marriage and decides to take the trip alone anyhow. And so there is something, though, about that Christmas magic that even if you are grieving, even though you are feeling very lonely, that you can find some feeling of connection with either good cheer that others are feeling or hopefulness about the future, or even the New Year holiday representing the idea for a fresh turn of the page, something new. And so there was still, even though I'm writing about sort of loneliness and a man grieving the end of his marriage, there is still something magical and special about setting the story at Christmas.
All right. So we're going to change gears a little bit. The next question is really not so much necessarily about Christmas books, but if you're more about the holiday itself, how do deadlines and writing schedules collide with the holiday season in real life? Do you write better in festive chaos or quiet January energy? And Stephen, why don't you start this time?
Well, I'm happy to report I've met my deadlines for the year. So this year is a rare opportunity for me to enjoy the holidays, whereas I'm often writing my way through them. So I'm going to take the opportunity to enjoy myself this year. But I always warn people, God help you if you are related to or friends with a writer. We are always listening. We are sponges. We are soaking up. So if you plan on creating some holiday chaos of your own this year, just know if you invite a writer there, we may be observing for inspiration for future stories. So even though I'm not on deadline, and I do prefer the quiet of January to write anyway, there's something about the chaos of the holidays that I'm going to use as inspiration for future stories, hopefully.
Also, Stephen, just out of curiosity, I'm in Bali and I find it really, really difficult to have Christmas here. And being from Portland originally, how do you feel about being
yeah, and I'm in Palm Springs,
Springs?
California now, where it was 80 something degrees today. It is hard. It's difficult, and as you read in my bio, I'm a Maine boy. I'm a good New England boy at heart, and so it is an adjustment. My first year, I moved to California and saw people put like giant plastic or inflatable snowmen on their green lawn. Like it just seemed like absolutely unhinged behavior to me. So it's like, but now now I don't bat an eyelash. And I host these writer retreats in Palm Springs for friends of mine. And I have a lot of friends who work writing Hallmark Christmas movies. And they are speaking of being on deadline, they are on deadline all year long because they make so many of those Christmas movies. So I'll host these writer retreats where we write until maybe 2:00, and then we'll fix a cocktail and get in the pool, and it's 100 degrees outside in July. But our friends writing the Hallmark movies are always working through the day. So we'll be like floating in the pool, and they'll come out quick. I need something to do with a toboggan and hot cider and a lump of coal. And you're like, boy, you are in a different headspace than we are right now.
That's brilliant. Marissa, same question. I can repeat it though.
Yeah, I'm okay now.
Pay attention, Marissa.
Just that one. I got very focused on what Farah was saying. So usually with the way deadlines line up, I'm doing the bulk of my holiday romance writing in the summer. And I am that person. Like we're at the cottage and like I come out to the dock and everyone's floating around having a great time. And I'm like, well, I'm thinking about, tobogganing or asking questions about, hot chocolate or thinking about the type of food that people would be eating. And I think that I would love to be writing during the holiday season, maybe just for more inspiration. But you're right, Stephen, that mostly I'm just sort of being a magpie and paying attention to what everybody else is doing, and definitely stealing family drama from people. What you
Being
said
a
reminded me.
magpie, I love that
Yeah,
expression.
I
Yeah.
think I stole that from, I think I magpied that from a Lauren Groff interview years ago. But I just read, or somebody shared with me, that Margaret Atwood shared a story. I think that Marian Engel, the Canadian writer, told some extremely deeply traumatic story about her childhood at a party and being adopted, and what her one twin was adopted by a different family. Like, just extremely, everyone was like, whoa. And then Marian Engel goes, copyright to this room full of writers. Like, this is my trauma. I can't have it. So that's a word that you need to know if you're hanging out with an author. Like, just copyright, just yell that, or you can do that around your author friends. Just, and especially around the holidays, because there's a lot of stuff happening.
Copyright. That's a good one. I'm
Copyright.
also happen to be married to another writer. So the biggest
Yeah.
fights we get into are
Oh,
like when we leave a dinner party and we've heard a great story or something, and we say our good nights and we get back to the car and shut the door. And then it's like, it's mine, like,
Right?
like
Yeah.
the first one of us
Now
to
you can just
claim.
say copyright.
Yeah,
Copyright, that one is
bummer.
mine.
copyright.
Yeah.
Farah, what about
Yeah,
you?
I
Are you
actually have.
writing during this crazy time?
It's funny that I have the opposite experience of the other two. So publishing is kind of weird, and because of publishing timelines, like my other books with this publisher came out in the summer, and this one came out in the winter. Long story short, I actually had to write it during the holidays. So
Hmm.
2 years ago, during December, I was on a very tight deadline to finish the Christmas book, which was great because it made writing it so much easier. I can't imagine writing that book any other time of year. Like I said, it takes place in very like iconic Toronto spots that are only available in the holidays. So I probably would have forgotten about most of them if I'd written it another time. But it did kind of take away my ability to enjoy the holidays because the deadline was tight. And then the same thing actually happened to me last year when I was editing the book because publishing got in the way again. And I ended up having to edit it late. So it was a very tight editing deadline also in December. And then this year, again, it's not the Christmas book, but I have something else that I'm working on that has a tight deadline. So I'll be working my butt off until the 22nd, and then I am putting out of office on my brain, so that I don't have to deal with it.
Just out of curiosity, Farah, on the 22nd, if you haven't reached where you need to be, will you have to continue or will you just be like, it can wait till next year?
um, yeah, publishing kind of that's when they go on holidays.
Okay.
So if I don't hand in everything on the 22nd, then they're not
You're not
going
going to
to
hear
do
from
any.
them.
They're not going to get it until. Which I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that means I should be able to like they should have out of office on their brains.
Yeah.
Um,
Everybody
but
needs an out of office on their
yeah, publishing is funny. Like I'll have long stretches with nothing, and then all of a sudden I'll have like three tight deadlines all at the same time. Especially because I publish two books a year, one YA and one adult. So it's juggling different publishers, and it can be a
That's
lot.
that seems extreme. Like I've met lots of authors who just write one book a year, but two seems like an awful lot.
Yeah,
I'm suddenly
yeah.
feeling very lazy. I have one name and I
I
don't I
know.
don't I
Wrong
only have
with
one
Yeah.
book
you?
at a
Step
time.
it up. You need to be working while those people are floating around. I'm just kidding. I like that. Do what you're doing.
I think one book a year is smart, and I'm all for trying that out one day. But
I'm
yeah,
probably like
it's
one
just
book every other year, maybe.
All right. All right. Well, so let's change gears yet again. And this is just a fun question, but what's one holiday tradition from your own life that you would absolutely never put into a book? Or what's one that you're dying to write about one day? I don't know.
hmm.
Put you on the spot.
That I never put into a book. The amount that I gossip about my family after. I don't know.
Like
Like the drinks that
specifically
we
about
had.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, after.
It's I would say some of the movies because I just don't want everyone to start yelling at me because they're controversial. Like I love Love Actually and we'll watch it on Christmas Day, but then everyone will yell at me about how problematic the relationships in Love Actually are.
Oh.
I've actually finally given in because my daughter and I keep watching. Well, I'm trying to find classics, and she's 17, and I'm like, I don't want to show her Love Actually because I feel like I just said to her the other day, I'm like, it's just such a great Christmas movie.
It is. It's
We're
so
gonna watch
sweet.
it. We can accept that, there are, it's like the way the world is going, like that actually it looks pretty good compared to a lot of other things. So I feel like I put every single Christmas tradition into my books. At this point, like we do pajamas and books and Christmas Eve and like cheese heavy foods. And so I've like on Christmas Eve, I don't know why I make everyone eat so much until they're like feeling sick for Christmas. It's just something that I do. I feel like I don't know that there's anything I haven't tapped yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything I wouldn't write about. There are several things I'd like to. I'm the oldest of four siblings, and we fight like cats and dogs over the Christmas tree topper that we had growing up. Like all of us want custody of it, and and my youngest sister has it now, which I find deeply, deeply unfair because she had the fewest amount of years with it. It means less to her than it does to me. But I was like, we're gonna go around and steal, keep stealing this one Christmas topper, and argue over custody. There was another. We had rather insane Yankee swap last year, or white elephant thing, or something, whatever you want to call it. But a family gift exchange with extended family, and we all like 98% of the gifts were exactly the same thing. So it was like you could tell we were all related. So I thought that was a very funny thing. So it was like opening the same thing again and again. Well, it's like there's no point stealing or trying to swap. It was like took all the fun out of it but everything was the same.
Yeah, I love that.
So copyright.
No, I'm like, damn it. I shouldn't have told you that.
I'm wondering now that we've kind of seen into your writing style and the fact that you all steal everything that's going on around you. Just wondering, when you're like writing something, has it ever happened that like one of your friends or family members is like reading the book and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's me." Farah,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So my YA that came out this year was called Meet Me on Love Street, and so it's a YA rom-com, and I have an 18-year-old daughter who is obsessed with YA rom-coms. So you would think that would be like the greatest thing in the world that her mother writes these, but no, I have to like beg her to read my books because I'm her mother first, right? So I finally got her to read the book after it came out. And she was complaining a lot because I gave her a physical, like a hardcover. And she's like, but how am I going to highlight it? I highlight on my Kindle. So I said, well, it's your book. You can you can do what you want. It's yours. So then so she's like, I can't write in a hardcover book. So then she started taking pictures of the passages that she would normally have highlighted. And because she knows the author, she started texting them to me. So she highlighted a sentence and wrote, "This is me." And I'm like, no, I didn't write you. And then another one, "You have written me." And then and then a little bit later, I'm still like, I was working and she texts me again, "You are the mom." Thank you. So yes, definitely people think that I'm writing them. I'm not. I mean, when you're writing a teenage girl and it sounds like a teenage girl, then
they're all
right.
very
similarities.
That's what I meant to say, yeah.
As they think they are.
The funny part is when you are writing someone and they read it and they're like, "Oh my God, I've got to ask you this question. Who is this asshole?" or whatever. And you're like, I a complete invention. I don't know. So sometimes people don't recognize themselves at all. And that's always funny too.
Yeah, I remember feeling really nervous with my first novel, not being used to how much truth you do put in fiction. My first Marissa Stapley novel. And my agent said to me, don't worry, people always, well, I was actually more afraid people would see me. And she said, people generally see themselves and they see themselves in places you did not intend. So I think people do often think that I'm writing them and I'm not. We're just writing something that's kind of uniquely relatable to a lot of people. And because these people are close to us as they read it, they're like, obviously, that's me. But my husband reads all my rom-coms and he's always like, oh my gosh, there's so many things. Like he's like, the guy is just me. And I'm like, okay.
With that washboard stomach and
the Stetson.
I met an author recently at the Ubud Writers Festival because I'm writing a memoir and I'm having a lot of trouble with it because you have to write about real life and people that are in your family. And when the advice I got was keep going, they won't read it anyways.
Honestly, so true. I have 3 brothers. Between them, I would say that they have read 1.5 of my novels total.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm just so tired of being, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like I should just start writing about them.
You should.
Yeah. No, it's surprising how I think about it all the time, actually.
My
How
my family does read my books, and I wish they didn't.
Yeah.
Mm.
Especially
Except
when
for
it
your
comes to the
daughter.
sex scenes. Well, my daughter will read everything, but my parents are very uncomfortable that I write sex
Ah,
scenes.
right.
And I'm like 49 years old. I think that at this point they will have figured out that I know the mechanics, but they're still very disturbed.
And do you like so they like you can't stop them from reading it. They both read it, your mom and your dad.
My mom reads the books and enjoys them. She doesn't talk to me about the sex scenes, but she'll talk to me about everything else. My dad, the first time he got, because I don't write in all my books, I don't have on the page intimacy in all my books, but in some. So my dad, the first time he got to one, he put the book aside and and he's like, "That's okay." And then he's like, very like diplomatically, "Do you think you'll ever write another kind of book?"
Your dad likes closed door.
Yeah.
He wants a psychological thriller.
Yeah, probably he'd be a lot happier. I mean, he's
Yeah.
still happy. He's still super proud of me, but
There's
yeah.
a reason there's a genre called dad books.
What is a dad book?
Oh, a dad book is like, yeah, like a Tom Clancy kind of,
Yes, yes.
you know,
That was my
or
dad.
very boring nonfiction.
Non
yeah, Dan
nonfiction, yeah.
Brown, those
Yeah.
sorts of books. Yeah.
All right, now we're going to switch gears again, and I'm just going to give each of you a little bit of time to describe your book so that everybody can go out and grab a copy. We will be giving some away at the end of this session, but we'd love to know what they're about. And I know that Stephen's given us a tiny glimpse into them. So, Marissa, if you want to start with yours,
Sure.
do you have it
Sorry.
by any chance?
Do I have it?
Do you have it handy? No?
She doesn't read her own books anymore.
I do, but it's the US version. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, there you go. Hold on. Val's
That's a
got it
yes.
right there.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Oh, there's the Canadian version. I'll grab that.
We
Sorry, I
have a
have
lot
to
of
like,
Americans on here as well, Marissa, so it's
yeah,
fine.
here I go over. Here's the Oh, actually, this is the UK version, which is almost like the American version, but it's got some little like foil there.
Nice.
Love it. So Christmas at the Ranch is I just do love it so much because it's actually set in Halliburton. I was talking about this on the social the other day. I call it the Carly Fortune effect. So Canadian authors were told for many years discouraged from setting our books in Canada until somebody came along and was like, hey, I'm going to do this. And everyone was like, oh my God, that's great. So now we're all being encouraged to do it. And I have a cottage in Halliburton. We spent our first season owning it. It was winter, and I fell in love with the frozen lake and the snowy setting and just so much more than I thought I would because I don't actually love winter, which is why I think I get so into like, yay, Christmas, just to try to make myself feel better about the next 4 months. So Christmas at the Ranch is set in one of my favorite places in the world, and it's a second chance romance set at the holidays. It follows a young woman named Emery who discovers while on the treadmill at the gym watching CP24, which is kind of like our local news station, that her dad has been arrested for fraud and her entire life is imploding. So she just kind of jumps off the treadmill, gets in her car, and just kind of fight or flight, just starts driving. She leaves the city and drives towards the place where she had her one happy Christmas because her family is very dramatic. They're very well-to-do and have extremely severe champagne problems. And she realizes she's heading towards Evergreen, which is my composite of Halliburton, where she spent a beautiful Christmas in a rental cottage with her family and met and fell in love with the cowboy next door named Tate. And of course, Tate is still in town. And we learn through her journal entries that are interspersed through the novel what their falling in love looked like when they were 18 and what broke them apart. And then we have to see if they can find their way back together in time for Christmas.
And Marissa, when did you actually, because this is just by you. You have done quite a few collaborations. When did you write this originally?
I wrote it last summer.
Last summer.
Yeah, so
And
I did.
sorry,
Mhm.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say I did not. I don't think I wrote any of it in winter, but I had the winter in my heart in a good way after.
And what's the difference between writing a book by yourself like that versus your collaborations?
It's just twice as much work. So like I realized when I started doing collaborations, I just loved them so much and I kind of fell into not doing collaborations and I think I have to find do collaborating again. I talk with Uzma a lot, who's one of my collaborators about finding an idea because it's half the work and it's just so much fun. It's like that story of the shoemaker's elves, you know, that fable where the shoemaker would go to sleep and then he'd wake up and the elves had made the shoes. That's what it feels like when you're working with a co-author. Like you usually use a Google document and then Uzma would write at night and I would write in the morning and somehow you'd have thousands more words when you woke up. And I like it feels like the magic of Christmas. So I'd like to do that again.
Awesome, amazing. Stephen, what about you? Do you want to go into a little bit more depth about the book?
Sure, or I'll go into a little depth about sort of the process because this was
Okay.
The Dogs of Venice was originally a story that I had released as an Audible original in December of 2020, and it was narrated by Neil Patrick Harris, and but it only existed in Audible format, and I had the opportunity for this new print version, and it's so rare for an author to get to revisit something once it's been published, once it's been out there. You know, it belongs to the audience and it sort of almost never comes back to the author. But I have expanded the story and rewritten. It's still a novella, it's still a short piece, but it's about a third longer than the audio piece. And I don't know, just a chance to retell the story after having published, you know, I think 3 additional novels since then. So, you know, hopefully I'm a better writer. I had a slightly different take on the story and whatnot, and it was very interesting to revisit, especially since it's something I had originally written, you know, in the year of 2020 when talking about the loneliness of the holidays. You know, that whole year I was isolating at home, and my husband was going through cancer treatment, and he's fine now. But you know, chemotherapy during a pandemic is no joke. You really have to shut the
Yeah.
entire world out, and I remember we had booked this special Christmas trip where we got a cottage on the ocean, and I was looking forward to that so much. And I got there, and I was like, "Oh, this is just the same sort of empty prison like the rest of the year has been." As a nice change of scenery, but you know what truly makes the holidays special is connection with people, and I was still sort of missing that in that Christmas of 2020. So it was interesting to sort of look back on that time and see how that had affected us, sort of 5 years out.
And as a result, did you make some like big changes or did you just expand the story?
Yeah, there's new characters in the novel. There's more humor, I think, in this because you know since the first the Audible version came out, I published the Gunkle, and which is what a lot of people know me for now, and so I think they expect some humor in my work to some degree, and so it was sort of interesting, you know, as I said, revisiting the story, but having a better sense of not only my voice as an author, but better sense of my audience as well. And so to be able to sort of craft that story to fit in a little bit better with the rest of my, you know, with the rest of my books was a real pleasure.
Farah, A Little Holiday Fling.
Yes, I do have a copy.
Thank you.
This is the Canadian American and UK cover.
Interesting.
Um, so A Little Holiday Fling is about Ruby. She works in luxury retail. She's a manager of a luxury Christmas store in the Distillery District in Toronto. And she's been working for a long time to fulfill her and her late mother's dream of moving to the UK and opening a little inn or bread and breakfast and just living out in the country in England. So she's almost there. Ruby has been saving money. She inherited some from her mother. She's got all of her ducks in a row. She's got her visa, and she's a month from moving to London. But she has a problem is that she doesn't have any hotel experience. She's only got retail management experience. So she's been trying to get a job in London, hasn't had any luck. And then she randomly meets a man when she drops a Christmas tree on him because she is carrying it home. And that's Rashid. And Rashid is ends up being a friend of a friend, and he's grumpy and he hates the holidays, and he's the opposite. He's against everything that Ruby loves. Ruby loves luxury skincare, and she loves clothes, and she loves Christmas, and she's anti all of that. But he has a family that has a line of hotels in England, so makes a deal with him that she will show him and his nieces um, an amazing holiday season by taking them out for holiday dates, um, to give the nieces a good season because their parents have just split up. In return, hopefully, she's hoping that he will introduce her to his family in the UK. So that they decide to go on these 4 dates together, just as friends, getting to know each other. She's trying to show him that she's responsible enough to work in his family's business, that she's not as impulsive as she seems. And of course, then, as the title says, they eventually decide to have a little holiday fling. But of course, she still has to leave at the end of the month. So it's a fling with an end date. And then so she has to eventually decide what's more important, her dreams or what's right there in front of her.
Sounds like a good one. All right, we're going to move to the question portion of the hour. So Megan has a question here. Nope, it's just a comment for Marissa. Okay, so here we go. Joanne would like to know, Joanne's in Saskatoon, what do you love, hate about book tours, and do you have any comedic or embarrassing memories from a book tour? Steven, do you want to answer that?
I'll jump in there. On my last book tour, the airline lost my luggage. Well, first of all, I love touring. I love talking to readers. I love meeting readers. It's a very solitary endeavor, novel writing usually, and I spend a lot of time alone. So when I can get out and mingle with other readers, because writers are first and foremost readers too. I love meeting people and hearing what they're reading and what they love about the books, and it's all great fun. It's tiring as I get older. But it's it's a great deal of fun. But the last time I went on tour, the airline lost my luggage, and they were like, "Well, we have," and it was like the first stop. So I was like, "I'm going to be on the road for a month," and suddenly I have nothing, like literally, like no underwear, like nothing. And so they were like, "Well, we have 72 hours to find it, get it back to you. Where will you be in 72 hours?" I was like, "Well, if it's in 24 hours, I'll be in Tampa. If it's in 48 hours, I'll be in Nashville. If it's 72 hours, I'll be in New York." Like it's like, how are you ever going to get this luggage back to me? Was a comedy of errors. But I remember I had that Tampa event and no luggage, and I was in Florida, and I was like, asked the hotel, like, where can I buy some clothes? And they sent me to this like high-end retail, like there was only like Versace and like, and I'm like, I'm not spending thousands of, I was like, do you have like a Banana Republic? Like so finally, like I was posting a lot of stories on Instagram about this. And so I finally just like, don't worry, Tampa, I'll be there tonight. And I have pants. I bought Tampa pants. And the number of DMs I got were asking like, "Oh my God, tell us about the Tampa pant." Like it was the J. Crew Tampa pant or something, like everyone would know what color Tampa pants come in. I was like, no, they are just pants that for me to wear in Tampa.
Like the apartment pants on Friends.
The apartment pants from Friends, yeah. Exactly.
Oh my God.
Farah, Marissa, go ahead.
Sorry,
no, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
I was in Regina, Saskatchewan last year, which is so glamorous. Although there's a lovely author named Susie Krauss there who is amazing, and I would recommend reading her. I think we've been here before, or any of her novels, and she made it so much fun. But my name is Marissa Stapley. I write under Julie McKay. I have gone into hotels and had it booked under Julie McKay and been told like no, and that's been a problem. But this time my plane ticket had been booked as Marissa Stapley, but actually my real name is Marissa Sponikowski, my married name. And somehow they had let me on the plane and I hadn't realized. So when they're looking at your passport and I have learned that they're just like, I don't know what they're looking at because they just let me on the plane. And then when I was leaving and barely making it out, it was a massive snowstorm, which I think is like permanent Regina weather in the winter, this woman started like the flight, I don't know what to call them. She wasn't a flight attendant,
Attendant?
but an airport worker person. She was like, who who is Marissa Stapley? She kept yelling at me. She was like, who is I'm like, well, and she was just beside herself. She couldn't believe I'd been allowed to fly there under the wrong name. But the way she was screaming, who is Marissa Stapley throughout the airport. And I was trying to explain who I was. And I was like, I finally went on my website and I was showing her that I was an author. Like it was just almost like a nightmare as an author where someone repeats your name over and over and has no idea who you are. They did let me on the plane to go home, which again, like airport security is so high and yet so weirdly lax sometimes. But when I landed, my luggage, and I knew it, I just knew it, my luggage did not come with me. Luckily, I was on the way home, and they did eventually bring it to my house, but it was just a very strange,
Yeah,
strange
I would love to know what the Regina pant is.
experience. Yeah. It involves a lot of shame.
It's such an
You actually,
existential question, though. Who is Marissa Stapley?
right? It really was. Like she kept saying it. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it was very funny and weirdly it awoke a lot of shame in me.
Good thing you
So
weren't in another country though, because you wouldn't have
mhm.
been going anywhere, I'm
I
sure.
wouldn't have been going anywhere. No. So anyway, that's my story. Sorry, Farah. I kind of jumped over you for that.
I would have
That's okay. I just have a little short story. I was in Los Angeles, California for the very first time for a book event, and there was a hurricane. And it was the very first time there was a hurricane in Los Angeles. So I was like, well, that's good luck, isn't it? And so we weren't sure we were going to get home. And so we were in a hotel room on the day that we were supposed to fly back home after the event, waiting for our flight, like checking to see if it would get canceled. Everyone's like, it's going to cancel. They're going to cancel it. There's a hurricane. And I'm like, I'm from Toronto. This is just rain. I don't know why you're calling it. It looks like rain. And then so we were sitting there on the floor, and my friend, I was with another author friend, and she was blow drying her shoes so that she could have dry shoes for the plane. And then the ground started to shake, so there was an earthquake
Oh.
on this hurricane and an earthquake, and we still got it out on time because Canadian pilots can handle this.
Wow.
Amazing. Di asks, since you're such busy writers and we are part of a worldwide book club, she would like to know what was the last book that you read? The last good book, Di, or just the last book?
The last book, good or bad. I'll jump in. I'm way behind on my reading, but since I am done, I haven't met my deadlines this year. I've been reading like a storm, and I just finished Buckeye,
Oh, I just did that
which I
too. So
loved. I
good.
loved it so
So good.
much. So, and I'm blanking on the author's name now. Somebody help me, Patrick. Somebody.
Yeah, Patrick something.
I
I
Yeah,
can
can see
barely.
the
Buckeye.
cover, but I
Anyway,
can't see the name.
loved it. Loved it.
I
Um,
just finished the Pumpkin Spice Cafe,
Oh,
oh, nice.
which was cute. And then I don't remember what I read before that because I don't remember. Like it's all a blur.
I'm glad to hear that, Farah, because I looked at my Goodreads and I'm like good dirt. I know I
Oh,
loved it,
no
but I have
problem.
no idea what happened in it. No idea. So I'm glad to hear other people are experiencing that as well. Marissa.
I have to say the last three books I read because I had this like incredible run. I read Heart the Lover and then Wreck, which I see that you all read, and then The Correspondent. And I just don't know what to do now. I keep picking books up and reading a few chapters and I can't. Like I'm ruined just in time for the holidays. Nothing is working for me. I can't. So if anybody wants to make a recommendation for like the best book they've ever read that they can guarantee will top those ones,
So
I'm
Heart
game.
the Lover is amazing, but don't read it at Christmas. Oh, I
I
just
mean, it
finished
was a
it.
couple weeks ago, but yeah, I know.
Matt.
Yeah.
Megan would like to know if you have any favorite holiday movies, not ones that you mentioned earlier, or favorite holiday foods. Maybe she's going to plan her viewing list and her recipe shop.
Oh my goodness. I've just looked up. It's Patrick Ryan. I just wanted to just
For
Oh,
say that.
Buckeye. Yeah.
My family loves Christmas Vacation. And the first year I brought my now husband home, we were just dating at the time. When I met him, he was the writer and actress Carrie Fisher's personal assistant.
Whoa.
And Carrie Fisher was great friends with, oh my God, what has happened to me with names tonight? The mom in Christmas Vacation.
Oh,
Anybody
was
know?
that Beverly D'Angelo?
Beverly D'Angelo. Yeah, she was great
Yes.
friends with Beverly D'Angelo. And my husband had it set up so if no one was answering Carrie's home phone, the calls rang through. They were forwarded to Byron's cell phone. And so we're at my home in Maine watching Christmas Vacation, and a call from Beverly D'Angelo came in on his cell phone. And
That's
he held up
brilliant.
his cell phone and it says Beverly D'Angelo. And he
Yeah.
paused the movie and he took the call. And my entire family was like, marry him. They just thought that was
I
the
love
coolest
that.
thing ever. Yeah.
Stephen,
Heck,
So
did
great.
Byron write a book about his experience with?
Yeah, he wrote a book called A Star is Bored,
Yes, okay.
based on his friendship with Carrie. And it's very, very funny if you like
Yeah,
my
me
it
too.
is very funny. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, he's so funny. I'm glad you married him.
I also been obsessed with this movie now. This year, I've discovered this movie called Violent Nights, I think. And it's about Santa Claus is delivering presents to a home when it's overtaken by terrorists or something. And Santa has to battle the terrorists, which he does. And it's so violent. I don't know what I expected from a movie called Violent Nights, but it's also so delicious to see Santa just beat the crap out of
All
bad
right.
people.
You too much.
Anyway,
Love that.
Marissa or Farah, any food or movies you recommend?
I watched
A movie. So, oh, sorry, you go
no,
ahead.
you go. You this time you go. Yeah.
Okay. Movie I would say one that I always watch is The Holiday. I think it's a favorite for a lot of people. I love this would be something I'd love to write one day, but where they're switching houses, I just love the concept of it. But also young Jude Law and Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet and Jack Black as a romance hero is amazing.
Yeah, agreed. Jack Black,
and
amazing.
Eli Wallach as the screenwriter. I love that storyline with
Yes.
him and Kate Winslet.
Yes.
It's so sweet. Oh,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sweet.
Oh my gosh, yes. Any food, Farah?
I don't know if I have a favorite food. Uh, it's weird. My husband is Danish, English, Scottish mix. And so I kind of got used to some Danish foods that I didn't really know were Danish Christmas traditions, like red cabbage instead of cranberry sauce on your plate, which is something they do in Denmark. And also some spice cookies and such. So it's not so much a tradition, but it's kind of neat to explore things that you didn't realize are a cultural thing. I thought it was just a weird thing his family did.
Love that. Oh, red cabbage. So I do love all the classics. Actually, for my last holiday romance, the Holiday Honeymoon Switch, which was kind of holiday inspired, one of the events I did was a screening of the holiday at a Toronto theater, and it was probably the most fun event I've ever done. We watched the movie, and then there was a little Q&A with me after, which made me feel like I somehow had something to do with the movie. I was like, oh, I'll just sit here and talk about this movie that uh, you know, so, and that was really fun. But this year, I'm trying to watch some of the new movies that are out. And my daughter and I have just started rating them. So we've given our first and only 10 out of 10 to A Very Merry Xmas. It is 10 out of 10 holiday movie.
is that
It has
Alicia Silverstone?
Yes, it's just, it has the quirkiness. It's cheesy, it's funny. It makes you feel the way you want to feel. It's also filmed in Unionville, which is a
Oh.
town where we are all familiar with. It's in Ontario. My mom lived there for years. I got married in a cute little church there. It's the cutest little town, so that makes it extra fun for me. But you wouldn't think so. Like I went into it like, oh, here we go, and really was pleasantly surprised. Whereas like Champagne Problems was 7 out of 10, not Christmassy enough. And that Secret Santa, which I was so excited, like a Mrs. Doubtfire kind of holiday
Mhm.
remake.
Oh, yes.
Maybe 4 out of 10. And because, it's the problem is, why do we care why do we care if someone is dressing as a man? Like basically the entire premise of the movie is she's a fraud because she's dressing as a man. Womp womp. Like it's not good, but Very Merry Xmas 10. I don't think anyone will be disappointed.
A
It
Very
is.
Merry Xmas. That's the name of it.
Mhm.
These
Have
titles
you
are
watched
all
Oh What Fun yet with
I
Michelle, the new movie with
cannot
Michelle
wait.
Pfeiffer?
And Chandler Baker, the
I know, I
author.
love Chandler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? She
Yeah.
screenwrote that. I'm saving that one. I'm very excited. I'm sure that'll get into like 12 out of 10
I haven't
territory.
seen it yet, but I adore Chandler, and I'm super excited for her in this movie. So
It's so cool. Yeah, so I would like to watch that. And then food. My grandmother used to make that you know that fudge that is like caramel fudge with rainbow marshmallows
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that.
I just love it so much. Like it just that's I'm very excited to make that and I just and feel nostalgic and kind of grossed out, but also so excited to eat it.
do you all have this in Canada? I always loved making fudge on it was the recipe that was on the back of the jar of marshmallow fluff. Do you all have marshmallow fluff?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
exists, but it's not commonly
No.
eaten. It's not,
Right. And so when I moved to
yeah.
the West Coast, they don't sell it. It's like not a thing here, the way it was in New England. So I'm like, I can't make my Christmas fudge. Where is the fluff?
You have to use actual marshmallows and
I have to
cook
use
them
actual
yourself.
marshmallow.
Yeah.
So there's one question here that's quite a hefty one. So I think we're going to close out with this and we'll, after that, we'll let the authors, depart and we'll do our draw afterwards so that they don't have to bear witness to it. But, Rachel would like to know if there is a white whale book or a story that you want to write, but you haven't yet. If so, why haven't you written it? It's a hefty question. So I'll just let whoever can think of something go first.
I feel like I'm waiting for the people to die so that I'm just
That's my answer too.
Yeah.
Like a memoir, you mean then, Marissa?
no, just like a family drama.
Oh, I see.
Like
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah.
we're all like when all of
Terrible people.
This is a
Yeah.
Christmas event or a holiday event, rather.
wow.
Yeah.
What-
On a
Be the
happier
light, guys.
note, I have always loved, so since we're talking about the holiday, sort of like property switching movies, I have always had a weakness for body switching movies. I love them from Freaky Friday on down. You know, there's many of them. And it's like I always wanted to write a story in that genre. I had an idea for two identical twins who switch bodies accidentally, but no one gives a shit. Like it's just like they're like, I got to get back to my. And people are like, why?
And
What difference
nobody
does it
cares.
make?
What difference does it make?
But I can't figure a way to do it in a book form. You know, so much of that comes from performance and the joy in those stories, and I can't figure out how to do a book. But maybe one day I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Cool.
I would like to write something in publishing too. I've a few ideas. I don't want to talk about it too much because it does feel like a good idea, but also it is so difficult. And then talk about everybody thinking it's about them. Like part of me is like, oh, I'm just gonna I'm gonna go for it. But
So you're talking
Wait,
about like the
you said a book
actual,
in publishing?
setting
yeah,
publishing.
the actually
Yeah.
Yeah,
experience of being published.
yeah.
Well, yeah, there is I can't share the premise.
I did that with the editor, my book, The Editor, but it's a slight period piece. I wrote it to take place in the 90s,
Yeah.
and because I love those stories too. There's a wonderful book about a young woman who comes in as the assistant for oh my God, what is happening to me today?
You're a menopausal woman. Like that's why
Yeah, I love sandwich and I love wreck, and now I know
you get it.
why.
Yeah.
She came in to be the assistant to J.D. Salinger's agent. Does anybody know this book? And they made it into
No.
a movie where Sigourney Weaver
Oh,
was playing the agent.
bestseller? The bestseller? No.
No. All right, hold on. Somebody else talking. I'm going to look it up.
I want to know. Farah, do you have a white whale more
I
specific?
I don't know if I have a white whale. I've always wanted to, and I tried, and it failed horribly. But I've wanted to write a historical, something historical set in East Africa. That's where my family originally came from, and I think it's a really interesting period when Indians were in East Africa and like during the war. Like, there's a very interesting history there. But the research and historicals, I'm just like I feel like I'm just treading water badly. Um, like it just doesn't flow as easily for me. I don't like having to stop to look something up every 2 minutes.
All right, My
Is there another?
Salinger Year by Joanna Rakoff.
Oh,
And it's a memoir,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
great. It's great.
Okay.
If you love a publishing story, that's fantastic. But set it in a slightly different time, and then you can say whatever you want.
Right.
Every time I read a book that's set in the publishing world, I'm saying this is not how it works, or that's not how it works. That's not how
Yes,
it
so we
works.
need
Yeah.
honest representation. Yeah.
But you would think the writers that wrote those books would know how it works because they got published.
Yeah, one would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it needs to be self-published to sort of like
Maybe.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's so great to hear all about your upcoming holidays, and it's so nice to just have a candid conversation about your holiday books. And we love you all as authors, and we'll encourage everybody to get out there and grab your holiday books. And we can't wait to hear what's next from all of you. So thank you, and thank
And
you
Marissa,
everybody
just
for
since you hate
joining us.
winter, I didn't hear Aaron say copyright when it came to Christmas in Bali.
Christmas in Bali. No, that's all yours. That's all yours.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you so
So if the authors want to log off, then we will continue to do our book giveaway.
Happy holidays,
Okay.
everybody.
Happy
Bye-bye.
holidays.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right. So it's actually just a link that you get because you've attended. You stayed for the whole thing. I hope you all enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I don't know if everybody heard, but I am not feeling well. So does that link actually work then, Val, or how does this work?
I've put the link in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, so we're giving away actually books for the 2 nights. If you're available tomorrow, please make sure you join us for another event. Tomorrow night, we'll be talking to Jean Meltzer, Karma Brown, and Jenny Kogan. So, and I will be feeling much better, I'm sure, by then. So there is the link in the chat window, and you can click on that and enter to win 1 copy of, and so we have quite a lot of copies. We have 50 books to give away. So make sure you do it because there's a good chance that you'll get one, especially if you attend tomorrow. So again, thank you all for if you don't belong to a gloss chapter, Val, it says the link asks which gloss chapter you belong to. Can you just put in, it's not a drop down, it's just right?
It's just right. So yeah, if you don't attend a live one, then you can just put none or virtual. Yes, you do need an email because we need to know who you are and know that you're a Gloss member.
Sorry, Val. I think that the issue is that in that box, you can't actually put just a word. It asks you for an email in that box. Like you have to put a valid email.
Gotcha. Thank you.
That's the issue. Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda. We're gonna fix this right now.
Sorry, this is Heather. I don't see a link. I just see information about with the name of the 3 books, and then it says enter here in the chat, but there's no link where it says enter here.
Did that come across? I just posted it again.
Oh, so there's 4. Okay, that's double. Okay. All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see what. So the
now.
chapter field is asking for an email. I got it. Sorry, guys.
Oh, now I'm getting the message it's not found.
Oh, maybe because you
It's
changed
probably because we're just editing it to fix that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Those who flagged it. No problem. Thanks for those who have flagged it to let
Live
us.
tech support.
And this might sound like a silly question. Is it just ebooks or are there actual physical
No,
copies
they're all physical books. There are no ebooks.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Because I don't read ebooks. I only do physical books. So I was worried that.
Having said that, we'll try to get them to you before Christmas, but they may land in January.
That's okay. Cool.
Oh, thanks, Amanda. Yes, Patricia, whatever works. We just need to be able to contact you. That's the most important thing.
So do we just all stay here till it seems fixed or?
Yeah,
It's already done.
Okay.
Working
So
on my end, if it looks like a couple others can only respond once, couldn't fix.
I tried to just get in and it said link not found.
I'm gonna put a chat link. I'm gonna add a link.
Okay,
There's
so you just added the new one. I'm gonna
yeah.
try it now.
Okay.
It's
Every
asking me to sign in.
do you have
Sign
a
into
Gmail account?
what?
Do you have a Gmail account? Is this is
Oh, I never use my Gmail account.
But I
Crap.
don't think you need a Gmail account to fill it out. So just,
Okay, I'll
is there a
try
thing
my.
that says don't sign in?
That's weird because
It just says your phone.
I'm checking it myself. Yeah, I'm already signed in, so it won't.
no, it wants my Gmail because it's saying I put this email that I use and it's
Anybody who has any trouble, just email us and we'll add you to the spreadsheet because it all the answers get into a spreadsheet and then we randomize it for winners. So we'll just add you
I'm getting
manually.
the same thing. Gmail
Yeah,
account.
can you just do
I
it
don't,
that way, Aaron? Just draw our names and we'll be happy with that.
because you have our emails from the link, right? From the sign
Yeah,
up.
we just wanted to make sure that those that attended were entered in.
Oh, right. Okay.
and as well we need your mailing address. So if you
Okay,
email
so
So if you send me an email to this info@theglossbookclub.com with your name and your mailing address with your phone number, because most of the publishers ask for the phone number to mail them, then we can add you to the database and then you'll be included in the randomization. Sorry for anybody that's not working.
okay, so it's say that again. Gloss, no.
So
The
it's
email?
info, the email is here.
Heather, are you on a mobile?
No, I'm on my laptop. It's hard for me to read the chat because I have to keep adjust taking my glasses off and leaning in and stuff.
Got it. So
Yeah.
it's info@theglossbookclub.com.
Okay.
And I do see lots of responses in here, so I'm glad to see that there's a good